I live in a part of the world that's pretty much just kind of constantly cold year round, but not like in a way that you really ever get snow. I mean, I am a big fan of snow, just in terms of weather. Might be my favourite kind of weather. And weirdly, for some reason this December, I have been feeling a little more festive than I usually would. So I just kind of have this want to, have some snowfall, have some proper like thick snow coming down. And we might do later this month as well, but for now it's kind of just frosty and cold and depressing, so I am kind of craving something a little more festive and warm. The way that a layer of snow just completely changes the atmosphere of the world. So yeah, here's another volume of me talking about seasonally relevant video game level archetypes at like 3 in the morning. I want to start with like one of my favorite PS1 games. Honestly, it probably is like my favorite RPG on PlayStation 1. It's quite a simple game. PGA European... Oh no, sorry, I mean Guardians Crusade. That's what I meant, yeah. It was kind of intended as like an entry-level RPG for kids. So it has a really simple stripped-back battle system. It's kind of got like weird item inventory, party member, Pokemon spell type things. It's really easy and really streamlined, but it's a really cool battle system. It's very fun. It's one of these RPGs that you don't grind, you don't really get bogged down in levels and combat, more than you just kind of have a nice RPG adventure. It's very much an RPG vibe, and the vibe is very strong. It's a very goofy, kind of Earthbound-y feel, mostly coming through the music, the art style as well. It's very PS1. I do love Guardians Crusade. And later, right towards the end of the game, you're in like this village, just full of penguins. Just a penguin village. It's very chill and very melancholy and very like... The area is literally just a tiny snowy island, so it is a very secluded part of the game. Weirdly, the music really does fit it quite well because it's so late near the end of the game. There's like so much music in this game that does hit surprisingly really goddamn hard for how goofy the game is and really how little it takes itself seriously for the most part. But yeah, this is just like a nicely decorated little town. It's full of silly little guys. It's got like nice views. It's nice and simple. But it's just that music, man. It's fucking awesome. And again, I just wanted to talk about this game because I could do a whole ass video on Guardians Crusade or Night and the Baby. No, I love this. It's probably just on its music and the feel of it. It's got some weird PS1 RPG vibes, and the music really, really carries that. And that big tree, that goddamn big Christmas tree in the middle, it's really simple. But man, it's a cozy ass little back end part of that game. I love it. Oh fuck yeah, Croc. Croc's getting a remake. That's crazy. Gex is getting a remake. Everyone's getting a fucking remake right now, ain't they? I've always enjoyed Croc. I get why people don't like it, but just play it. Just use the D-pad. It's easy. Just play the game with the D-pad, and you'll be fine. Now the game it's very cute. It's got a very childish, whimsical kind of feel. It very much is. It's the kind of thing that it feels nostalgic when you've never played it. It's just, that's the kind of appeal it has, I think. Yeah, the music is all very like sweet, a lot of whimsy, a lot of nice, relaxing melodies. Almost has a kind of like lullaby feel to it sometimes, I think, some of the music. Yeah, I mean, it's a cute game. It's a nice game. And the snow levels, man. Oh, just look at like the pure sheen, icy blue. That light blue looks awesome. And like the cloudy, misty, mountainous skies in the distance are awesome as well. They're fun levels as well. They're not too hard. They're it's still like not too much precision in the platforming, but still like some cool setups and layouts. I've always really liked Croc's level design. It's quite unique. It's got quite a cool feel to it because it is a tank control 3D platformer, but I think it works really well. So it has a very interesting kind of slightly rudimentary, blocky design that's like really satisfying and really precise, It's good. I think it plays good. I think it's a fun game. I think people are a little too harsh on it just for its controls, which is fine. You don't have to like them, but you can't tell me it's a bad game just because you don't really get a grip of the controls yourself. I've always thought they were pretty good. But the music, man, like all the bells, all the chimes, it kind of sounds almost like a Christmas carol, It's not like super merry and jolly or too sparse and sad and wintry sounding. It kind of hits a nice, easy, gentle, soft, soothing middle. It is very sweet. You got the big chiming Christmas bells as well in there, man. It is a damn wintry ass, Christmassy ass kind of set of levels, you know. Yes, Croc's skyboxes are gorgeous. Like they're so like vague and washed out, like a watercolor. It looks really, really goddamn nice against the sharp, like very precise polygons and colors and contrast of the actual levels themselves. You know, but that music, it feels like how did I describe the music? The music in Croc's winter stages, it feels like Christmas, but not like Christmas morning. Not like Christmas dinner time. It feels like just the middle of day. Like a really boring Christmas day, but it's still kind of Christmas day, if that makes any sense. But yeah, Croc's a good game. I'll defend this dude anytime, and these snow levels in Croc, easily my favourite bit of the game, honestly. They are a treat on the ears and the eyes, and they're bloody fun to play, I think. Yeah, I remember sitting around in my bedroom, beating Croc, trying to 100% this game, like sitting there in the dark, playing this very jolly, bouncy platformer. It's quite a funny contrast, you know. Now Spyro has some pretty good snow levels. I guess I just thought Spyro had more, like, it doesn't really have very Christmassy energy to the snow levels, more than it just does have that kind of magical, sparkly, strange, surreal kind of magic that Spyro usually has. The snow levels, though, they're not distinctively snow levels, you know. I mean, they're obviously snow levels, but they don't really feel Christmassy or wintry, more than they just feel like a cold Spyro world, if that makes any sense. But they still look awesome. I mean, the blues and the color schemes and the mountains. PS1 Spyro just looks amazing by like all standards, I think. And yeah, the snow levels, they're very pretty as well. The music's great. I love the music in Spyro, but it doesn't really have, you know, it's not going to make you feel like it's Christmas Day or you're trudging through a blizzard, you know, it's Spyro music with a sort of chilly feel to it, but still very, very cool. Fuck, I mean, there's a whole bunch of them. Pretty much every Spyro game had a fairly solidly pretty ice level, so shout out to Spyro. I really gotta replay that PS1 Spyro sometime. It's been too long. I do remember playing Spyro 3 as a kid. It's kind of the first PS1 game I ever played, so it has quite a special place in my heart as being like kind of the first time I felt that strange allure in a bizarre, weird, surreal looking old 3D game, and that interest has kind of fueled my entire life, it seems like. So I guess, yeah, this is just a thanks to that purple dragon, I'm sure. And of course, the hub worlds in Spyro 2, the ones themed after the seasons. Oh, the winter one is just this bliss. Those hubs are just, the fact that you just fill them with ambient sound is just a beautiful idea, and goddamn, it is such a special, secluded little cold, desolate mountainside. It's a really cool atmosphere. Yeah, it's all the views, it's all those chill blue sky views and the stars and the snowfall and all the sort of glowing purple hue. Spyro is kind of lit like it'd be lit by fairy lights. You know, Spyro has really nice lighting that kind of reminds me of the kind of colours that you would get on like Christmas decorations and lights, you know. It's cozy and quite kind of magical, just in how bright and meshed all the colours are together. And fuck, if we're talking Spyro Crash, right? For some reason I just think, whenever I think of Crash, my brain immediately defaults to Wrath of Cortex. I really like Wrath of Cortex. I don't know why. It's always been one of my favourite Crash games. I think it's kind of a bit of a bad rap, but it's got some fun snow levels. They're not like super, like, they're not going to make you feel sad and nostalgic and Christmassy, but they're just like goofy fun levels where you're running around and it's all slippy and shit. And sometimes that truly is the essence of Christmas, is just slipping on my fucking arse in a big pile of yellow snow and frozen horse shit. What? I don't know. Slipping over in a big icy puddle. I mean, if that isn't Christmas time personified, then My name's not Crash Bandicoot, I guess. But yeah, I really like Wrath of Cortex, and it's got some pretty fun, pretty zany, slippery, slidey winter levels. You know, they're a fun little goofy Christmas vibe, I guess. Sure. I do love the balls. Shout out to the Crash ball stages. I actually love these. These are like one of the reasons I love them. I like Wrath of Cortex more than Warped. All right, Warped's fun. The vehicle, there's pretty much as many vehicle stages in Warped as there is in Wrath of Cortex. The problem is in Warped, they're all basically the same. Wrath of Cortex at least has more variety in starving me from the regular Crash gameplay, and I like the ball rolling. Damn you, it's fun, it's momentum. It fits Crash very well, I think, honestly. Better than jet skis do, to be honest. Or who can forget snowboarding with Coco, right? That's pretty fun. The music in this level is an absolute silly ass, goofy ass bop. I love it. And I forget how dark this level was. I didn't realize it took place at nighttime. It weirdly kind of doesn't fit the music. This avalanche scene looks a lot more threatening than the music makes it feel, but all the same, a goofy, fun ass level. Shout out to snowboarding. I would have talked about some snowboarding games in this video, but I also kind of want to make a video just about snowboarding games. So I'm saving myself for that, as I hope I do. You know, there's actually games that are like Christmas games, right? Let's talk some Christmas games, and by Christmas games I mean I could only think of two of them. That being the Polar Express, yeah. You know that, you remember that film, right? Everyone remembers and loves the Polar Express, don't they? I remember this film was on every bloody Christmas when I was a kid. And I've not seen it even like mentioned since like 2014, maybe it was like the latest. I mean, it's one of these films I always watch like the first bit or the last bit. I have no idea what happens in the middle, honestly. But yeah, it's a Christmas film, and it's a Christmas game of a Christmas film, so technically, it's a Christmas game, right? Sure. It has a nice nutcracker, whimsical font. You know that famous nutcracker font, the famous font of whimsy. Obviously, there's snow everywhere, and you got a train, and you got presents. If you've seen the Polar Express, it's a train and it's Christmas. All right, what the fuck do you want from me? It's a fine game. It's like a bunch of weird mini game kind of things that string together the plot of the film. With kind of like a platformer core, but not really. It's weird. It's a weird little game. I've memories of playing this with some girl who I was friends with in primary school when we were like 8. She came over and we played the Polar Express on PS2, and I don't remember anything else of that day other than it was probably quite boring, to be honest. I mean, there's some fairly fun mini games. There's some fairly crappy ones. Like you play Pong. You play Pong with a possessed Scrooge puppet, and it's actually kind of horrifyingly strange little room you're in. It's a weird. I remember this game creeping me out. I think it's just because there's like a living puppet, and he's always talking and always taunting you. And the fact that you're enclosed, you're stuck with him in a fucking train carriage, is weirdly quite threatening. This Scrooge puppet. I never liked this dude. This guy never made me happy. But yeah, you just have like random mini games, like oh, kick a ball into a bucket or get into a food fight. It's a weird game. It's fun. It's kind of fun in how weird and goofy it is, and it's, you know, it's the Polar Express video game. Of course, it's going to be a fucking weird ass ride. I've never beaten it. I've never played beyond like the scene where you're skiing down a hill to get back onto the train. I think, you know, there's probably like a fairly fun playthrough to be had if you want something kind of silly or you like the film. Certainly, it's probably pretty good then. I just remember watching this film so much, and I don't know if I liked it when I was a kid. I might have found it really boring, and that's why I never like watched it most of the way through. But you know, I'd love to watch it just so I could actually properly play this game in the knowledge of what the Polar Express is actually like through the rest of the film. But yeah, it's fun. It's a Christmas movies in the classroom energy when you're 7 type shit. Not your favorite Christmas film, but it's still a lot better than doing maths, to be honest. I mean, if we're talking Christmas games, I think the most obvious one is probably Christmas Nights, right? I mean, Nights already feels very festive, feels very Christmassy, very cozy and dreamy and sleepy. It kind of ties in with Christmas, I think. So it was a perfect fit to be like, alright, we'll take Nights and we'll basically just make like DLC. We'll release a cheap, easy little game for the holiday season, call it a day. It's an awesome idea, honestly. You just get a bonus Nights level and it's Christmas themed, and you have like a nice Christmassy vibe to everything. You've got these cool opening cutscenes that are like a sort of Christmas fairy tale storybook kind of watercolors. It's very pretty. You've got a little, I love the little timer on like the main menu. It's kind of like they have like count up to Christmas, right? That's pretty fun. I like the little visual changes, like the way they redesigned Night's color scheme to fit Christmas, you know, all the very Sega Saturn, the Nightsified classic Christmas songs are really fucking nice, actually. I mean, yeah, Nights, I fucking love Nights. I actually really want to make a video about Nights. I've grown to really love that game and its music quite a lot lately. So I might want to talk about this later, a bit more then, if I'm going to talk a whole Nights video. But it's so cool to see a game that already feels this chill and nostalgic and warm and fuzzy have a goddamn Christmas skin. It's really cool to see, honestly. I mean, yeah, it's short, and it's short, but it's sweet, you know? It's just you play it a few times, yeah, score some high scores, yeah. You do the course, then the boss like 20 times, and you unlock the presents, but you don't unlock them immediately. You gotta play like a match game, which can get really frustrating when you keep game overing on the match game before you even get a single prize that you just worked for. It is worth it though, because you get some really fun bonus content, concept art, well, not really concept art, more just like character models and sort of mini games and fun side things. It's a really fun little package, especially if you're a Nights fan and you're in a Christmassy mood. I mean, this is fucking heaven. I love this game, and yeah, I adore Nights. I really want to make a video about Nights. I recently played the Wii game that no one talks about, and it's pretty good as well, I think. A lot to say there, but Christmas Nights is a fun-ass little package. Probably the Christmas game of all time, I would probably say. Oh, Nights Karaoke, aka Nights Karaoke. That shit is... I'm busting that out at the Christmas party. For sure. Yeah, all the bonus art you unlock is really cool. It's a fun little course, you know? The 2 courses they give you. With the slight variance on what characters you choose. Yeah, Christmas Nights, I mean, Nights already feels like the excitement of going to bed on Christmas Eve, that's Christmas Nights, man. That is a literal Christmas night, and this Christmas Nights game captures Christmas Nights pretty well. I don't know where I'm going with this. Did I mention I like the fast flying game? I mean, yeah, there is just like in regular Nights, there's the Frozen Belle. That's a nice ass level. Look at that background, man. That background of the weird like snow mountain formations and that like endless frosty blue. And all the glaciers and the stuff at the bottom, man. Oh, it's beautiful. It flows so... Nights just flows beautifully. The colors are amazing. I love the weird like snow roof. Like you're in some sort of weird cavernous snow cave world with like a mountain sky. Like that's just awesome, dude. Music in this stage as well is like some sort of big ass Christmas party. A Christmas party out on top of a glacier at night with like strobe lights, I think. Now, Nights music is gorgeous. I absolutely love Nights soundtrack, and I talk about it more if I wasn't planning on making a Nights video, so I'll save it for then. But Frozen Belle, no, is probably one of my favourite tracks in the game, honestly, and a very fun course. Just look at like that sky, those clouds that stretch off, all that blue. It's so wintry and chilly, but so like, it's like walking through a forest, you know, when it's covered in snow. It's a very naturalistic, scenic, snowy nature, wintry kind of beauty, it sounds like in the music. It's a pretty condensed level as well. You've got lots of poles to swing on, lots of speed boost sections. You've got a lot of the wee ribbon and bonus thing as well. I like that, and the flying through snowballs. There's a lot of fun little mechanics in this stage. Mechanically, it's not like the craziest level in Nights, but you do have that cool like bobsled moment. It's kind of weird and kind of silly, but it's still fun, you know. All the white soft trees you go by, you know. Yeah, Frozen Bell is a lovely level, and I love the train track. The train track going through it with like those crossing lights, you know. It's kind of weirdly out of place in that sort of it looks really out of place to have like a train line in like the Arctic basically, but at the same time it's kind of like winter traveling to see like family at Christmas and train lines, and the view of like desolate nature as you're passing by on a train in the snow. It's awesome. I love this level. It's a really, yeah, it's lively. The music's really lively, but very cozy, you know. It's like walking through a toy shop at Christmas, somewhere that's busy and bustling and full of lights, like a city centre surrounded like a huge tree in a park or something. It's a really nice atmosphere. It's Christmassy, but also very wintry, but still not at all like too melancholy or sad or depressing or anything for winter. Why would it be depressing? It's Nights. Nights is fun. Wee, look at funny gesture man fly. That's crazy. And while we're in the realm of Sonic Team, always talking Sonic Team, I mean, obviously just shout out to like good old Ice Cap Zone. Bro sounds just like Michael Damn, bro sounds just like Michael Jackson. No, but I love this level. Weirdly, Act 1 I don't really like because a lot of it takes place in a cave, I remember, and you've got some weird little like timing challenge with like those little bouncy platforms. It's a bit too precise for my Sonic brain, but Act 2 of Ice Cap Zone slaps, man, because it's just go fast, that pretty background of all the icebergs drifting past. You've got a little bit of that icy cave with its deep, long, stretching blue, stony background. Act 1 as well, you got the snowboarding. First time Sonic ever snowboarded, man, it's crazy. And the boss fights are pretty fun in this level as well, yeah. I always forget about them weirdly. They're like the Sonic 3 boss fight, I always forget what it is until I get to it, but it's a fun surprise. It's just like a Christmas present, basically. But yeah, I love that background, the way like the icebergs flow in the foreground. It looks awesome, and that like sheen sleek blue is so calming, so cool looking. Oh, I love it. Ice Cap Zone slaps. And shout out also to Ice Cap Zone and Sonic Adventure. It's a fun, platforming heavy, slightly almost puzzly kind of big cave section. The weird hillside a bit, you just kind of throw yourself along for a minute, is one of the weird little spots in that game that I adore. And of course, the snowboarding, the absolute baller, banger ass, fire big band swing ass shit music, man, when you're snowboarding, passing by all that stuff, big jumps. Oh, dude, Sonic Adventure, just one of the game of all time, dude. I love that shit. Hell, even like shout out to like Sonic Unleashed. It's been ages since I've played Unleashed, but hell, there's a wintry ass, Christmassy ass feeling level. Much more on the wintry side, but it's weirdly cozy for being just you basically out in the Arctic. It's quite cozy and it feels very free. You feel very free and liberal and free to do what you like in the freezing fucking winds of the Arctic. And who can forget Sonic 3D Blast, aka 3D Flicky's Island, my favourite game. No, honestly, I love this game. I genuinely love 3D Blast. I think I'd rather play it than like Sonic 1 and 2, to be honest. Because the thing is with Sonic 3D Blast, I get why people might find it a bit annoying, but also at the same time, like, how do you play classic Sonic, right? If you're running around, right, doing the classic Sonic stuff, and you've got to kill an enemy, are you jumping on it, or are you rolling into it? Because you're most of the time rolling in is the better way. It's the more intended way to play Sonic, because you're keeping up your momentum. It's kind of what like the levels are designed to really be doing. So in 3D Blast, if you're used to rolling into enemies in Sonic to kill them, and you do that in this game, you pretty much just have completely sidestepped 99% of the reason I think people don't like this game. I think it's so fun. I think the isometric platforming is perfect in this game. It's not too precise. It never feels like it's an inconvenience. It feels like you're playing some sort of like a top-down pinball. Imagine a top-down shooter, but it's pinball. That's what this game is like. I fucking love it. With like a dash of a platformer on the side as well. I get why people might not like it, because I don't really like how navigation heavy it is, but it's also fairly linear in the route. There's always like one fairly clear route through to the flickies and the end goal. But yeah, I love 3D Blast. I think it's a good game, a legit good game, and very, very charming in its simplicity. And that charm really comes out in the snow level. It looks really, the texture on the snow, despite just being a 2D sprite, it looks really fluffy. Like, it looks very soft, and those trees look nice, you know? In the Saturn version, you've got that snowfall, you've got a little bit more distinct color patterns. I mean, I'm looking exclusively at the Saturn version here, but it looks awesome on Mega Drive as well. A little icier, I think a little icier looking on Saturn, but Mega Drive has that nice simple textured, that simple tile pattern look that's still very pretty. And the music on the Mega Drive version's got a nice melody, a really sweet wintry melody, but man, the Saturn version is just Christmassy as hell and builds up. It's like this Christmas chimey ambience that builds up into this festive sleigh ride of like drum fills, and oh man, it's hype. It's hype, but it's very pretty, very wintry, and my god, it's like the build up to Christmas itself, man. I love this level. I love its music, both acts. Act 1 is almost purely this very melancholy winter ambience. It feels very, very lonely and very cold, you know. I love it. I think it's awesome. The boss fight's pretty fun in this level as well. All the boss fights in 3D Blast are fairly simple, but like they're nice and they're quite cathartic in that way, I find. Yeah, I mean, the Mega Drive version's got a beautiful melody and it looks really nice as well, but I'd say most people are here for the Saturn version, and I agree. Act 1 is just gorgeous. It's like walking through the town when it's really late at night and seeing all that Christmas decorations and like 2 days before Christmas, you know. It's really a really nice atmosphere. Very soothing, but just sad enough to be very, very winter appropriate, you know. And Act 2 takes that and just adds a bit more energy and life into it and excitement, and it's just a really nice progression from the stages. I mean, you're fighting robot snowmen, bruh. Robot snowmen turrets. I mean, Eggman was absolutely cooking with that design, like damn, bro. Yeah, lots of steep hills in this level. I like this game's controls because you feel the momentum, and the momentum carries into like you bouncing off the walls. The bouncing off everything and the chaos and the slight lack of control, I think, is what is really fun about 3D Blast. I think it's fun to bounce off the enemies, bounce off the walls, try and scurry around frantically for things. It is like it's the same fun I find my brain gets from hitting bumpers in pinball, you know. You just gotta play this game like a real... Actually, you're not playing the game properly. You just gotta play it like you're meant to kind of play Sonic in like a slightly more skillful way of rolling into the enemies. And then you'll realize, I think this game... There's very few moments where you need to be precise with the isometric platforming, and I think it's just a really fun, cathartic, bouncy, zip around, have a goofy, fun little time kind of game with just a little bit of platforming and skill that makes it feel. It just makes it feel, yeah, just that's all. And rabbits on pogo sticks, I mean, hold the phone, I mean, that's actually cool. Eggman was cooking, for real. Oh yeah, and there's that bit where there's just like a massive sludge river, like a massive sleet snow river, and you just kind of have to jump away from it. It's really stupid, but man, I love it. Look at those tiles, man, the blue tiled flooring. You'll love to see it. And of course, we gotta mention, I think, some Nintendo 64 especially weirdly has so many good Christmassy, wintry levels, and pretty much all coming from Rareware. Is it a British thing? Do we British people just get that depressed in wintertime that we need to make something happy and nostalgic to get through it all? But yeah, Banjo-Kazooie, you got that, what's it called? Freeze Easy Peak. I was thinking of a name from Mario. Is Freezeezy Peak from Mario? No, it's not Mario. No, 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 it is free. I'm having a moment, don't mind me. Yeah, Freezeezy Peak from Banjo-Kazooie. The music is awesome. The music reminds me of like I don't know what. The music's very festive. It's like what you'd hear a band, like a big band, like a brass band playing in the town centre on Christmas time. You know, it's very fun. Very fun and very nostalgic and very bouncy. It reminds me, because it sounds like a big band playing in a city centre, it really reminds me of this one Art Attack VHS tape I had when I was a kid. I can't remember why, but it's such a vividly strong nostalgia for Christmas in like this one part where like the Art Attack guy, I forget his name, he was in like New York City at Christmas time, and it looked goddamn, as a kid that blew my mind. A city as big as New York existed, and they had Christmas lights up everywhere. It looked fucking stupendous. Like, seeing that is just, oh, I don't know why it reminds me of that. It's just such a specific mix of Christmas, children's TV, children's UK TV, and VHS nostalgia all bundled into one. Like, I remember jumping around on my bed and watching that VHS tape, and I don't know why this song just makes me think exactly and feel exactly like that the nights that I watched that tape on. I don't know what it is. But Freezeezy Peak, man, I mean, it's an awesome level. I love the skybox. The stars are bright, the moon's out, it's kind of foggy, kind of cloudy, but it's rotating. You look up and it's always like gently spinning above you, the stars, like you're in some kind of little isolated snow globe world. It's awesome. You got that big ass Christmas tree with a star on top. You gotta climb up the inside, right? You gotta defend your tree from a bunch of rabid light bulbs or some shit, I think. Oh no, you're saving the light bulbs, my bad. From a bunch of rabid fucking whatever those guys were again. You got like the random little stack of presents that formed like this weird little climbing frame. You know, you got all the fucking snowmen, the snowmen that throw snowballs at you. 0 of 10 chaps, worst enemies in the game, hate those lads. But you got the huge snowman. I love the huge fucking snowman in the middle, dude, that you slide down his scarf. He's a fun guy, he's a jolly big ass fella. You've even got those little cabins, right? The little cabin village off to the side. I love that. Who lives here? Why can't I go inside? What is it like in these cabins? Why are they out here? Which character lives in these cabins, and why are they so like nicely lit up? They're populated, clearly. What would it be like to live in this desolate mountain valley next to the fucking behemoth Godzilla snowman? What would it be like to live in one of those cabins with these massive ice crystals and bear family always going for like fucking sled races with an obnoxious loud bird in a backpack on the back of a bear? What would that be like to live out here? But yeah, this level is super nostalgic. I just remember staring up at the skybox and just kind of chilling out after school playing this, and just feeling, it was probably like May I played this game in, but it just felt so Christmassy with the music and the snowfall and the colours and all the sort of purple light reflections on the walls and the snowman again. Just everything about this level is so Christmassy, and just looking up at that skybox, that starry skybox that pokes out from around the corners of the snow-capped hills, man, it just makes me feel like it's Christmas. I don't know why. And shout out to that polar bear igloo. That's a cozy wee place right there, Mike. My guy, you got a nice ass little home. Wish I lived there. I would purchase one of the cabins at Freezeezy Peak. Fuck you, I would live here. That was rude. I don't know why I said fuck you during that. Oh yeah, and the fact that you get to fly from this level as well. Man, it is just such a... It's so weird to see this enclosed mountain range Christmas paradise limbo. This Christmas mountain pocket dimension. Like it free like this, you get to like free fly around it, man. I don't know why, it just feels awesome to me. This truly is the peak of the video game Christmas nostalgia. I mean, Rareware, man, Rareware was always cooking with this kind of shit, right? Diddy Kong Racing, I mean, Diddy Kong Racing's like my favourite N64 game after like Majora's Mask, I think. Hell, maybe I even like it more, I don't know. You've got that fun little like ice temple battle arena, that's quite cool. And then you've got that Mountain Valley Pass, you fly down on the plains, and you've got that kind of fun folk music, winter little groovy song. It's a cute little time. It's a cute little jaunty little Christmas ditty, right? You got a bunch of like the corridor of trees in the valley you go through leading to that cave and all the water, man. It feels like a nice. It feels like you just took your friends out to race in the desolate snow plain that you don't know how you're going to get home from. It's a fun little, weird little atmosphere with that skybox, the dark blue mountains with the... There's like little buildings on those hills, right? I'm just realizing that. It's like little cardboard cutout buildings on that skybox mountain. That's awesome. Imagine living there. Imagine living in that fucking... The other Christmas rareware purgatory. I would. I'd gladly live there. Yeah, I mean, I love Diddy Kong Racing. I'm not going to go into it because I mean, it doesn't like it needs much. It's not like it needs much explanation. I can say Diddy Kong Racing is fun without having to explain myself, right? Or having to fucking trip up 20 times in my own sentence because my tongue is made of sand, apparently. Oh, and then there's the level where you're like on the mountainside. There's like that huge ice ring. There's like that big ice hoop you go through. You got like the caves with all those little lanterns that are all in like rainbow colors. The song as well sounds like some sort of like Christmas, like some bumsy, goofy Christmas song. And then you come out to like that big icy lake with the junting hills. You got to sort of jump around and dodge the trees, and it's a fun little, crazy little mountainous wee valley you're going through. And as someone who lives in a very mountainous place with lots of mountainous valleys, I quite like that. It's quite inherently nostalgic for me. And man, yeah, that music slaps, dude. We're truly trying to just like write Christmas music with these themes, you know, Christmas songs. You know, if this shit came on the radio on Now Christmas or whatever the fuck it's called, then I would pog out, as they say. They still say that, don't they? It's a Christmas pog. It's still relevant because now I've forced it to be seasonally relevant. Oh yeah, then you got the one that's not at nighttime, where you're in just like a big ice rink, like a big frozen valley, like icy floor. You got that little tunnel, there'll be ice tunnel to the side, and all the snowballs, this bright like series of ice caverns and steep ice valleys, the candy cane arches going into that big room with all the fucking snowballs. I love them. I remember them making my life an absolute fucking hell, trying to like get the silver coins on the expert challenge, like the highest difficulty. Diddy Kong Racing on its highest difficulty, by the way, it's fucking evil. It's fucking maniacal. Bloodborne, you're a little bitch compared to Diddy Kong Racing on hard mode, to be honest. And of course, the best one, I forget its name. I couldn't be bothered looking at it just there, but it's the one where you got like you go down the hill, right? It's like a Christmas hillside into that like little group of houses. Maybe the house is on the hill we saw earlier. Ooh, who knows? You've got that forest, that goddamn like towering huge trees alongside the regular sized 2D sprite Christmas trees. It's all foggy and like it's like a dense fog with all those like little streetlights, those classic gas lantern streetlights. Man, it looks awesome. Coming into like the glacier, surrounded by water and all the ice, and you loop back around to the hill, that train line that stretches out across that view of the water into the distance, and the stars and the big December bright moon, and those three houses, man. I remember playing this game when I got home from school, and just it's another moment where I just felt so goddamn nostalgic and Christmassy out of nowhere, because it's the colors and the lighting and the atmosphere here is beautiful. These isolated little houses with their warm bright lights, like you can feel the coal fire going on in there, and their snow-lodged roof and all the wee icicles, the detail. Man, just imagine this was a real place, right? Imagine living in that isolated little set of one of those free houses out here in the middle of God fucking knows where. What a cool place, huh? What a cool, odd, cozy, warm, Christmassy little space, man. I love it. And Donkey Kong 64, I mean, it's not really a snow level. It's not really an ice, it's more of an ice level, I guess. And even then, it's more of a cave level. It's a cave level that's also full of crystals, and it's also very cold and icy. I'm not sure if it doesn't really feel Christmassy, or even it feels slightly wintry, I'd say. With all the blue crystals and the cold, chilly atmosphere, but most of that chilly, cold atmosphere pretty much comes from the music. But my god, that is like a bleak, beautiful winter snowland wasteland. It's trudging through like a thick, heavy snow when you're freezing to near death, but it's still like a gorgeous day. Man, this track is beautiful. Probably the reason this was my favorite level in Donkey Kong 64, to be honest. Also, shout out to the Ice Castle. That mission fucking sucks, but it's a pretty cool ass ice castle. You got it in it. Look at the floors. Look at them shiny ass floors that lanky ass Kong ass is slipping and sliding down, man. It's like a castle made of like blue diamond. It's fucking nice, man. And of course, Mario 64, I guess. I'm not a big fan of Mario 64, to be honest. I don't know. I've always felt it's fun. It's fun. Of course it's fun. It's Mario 64, but I just don't think every level is fun. I feel like half the levels weren't really designed for the bouncy controls. They're too condensed. They're not spacious enough. There's too much precise platforming in enclosed spaces, and I think Mario 64, half the levels are just not fun at all to me personally. Every level needed to be a big open play field, like the first few levels were. I mean, I'm just not the biggest fan of Mario 64, to be honest. Never have been. But man, look at that snowfall. Look at them blue hillside mountains. Look at that. Look at that wintertime Christmas N64 liminal nostalgic nothing dreariness coming through, man. The music is quite chill. It's sitting on a mountainside in hiking gear. This feels like music for hiking through the snow on a mountainside and sitting down for a nice cocoa with the boys, cracking open a boy with the cold ones. I mean, the view is cool. The view is awesome. I love these liminal, non-existent, hazy mountains in the distance, man. They look so weird. I love it. I love Mario 64's atmosphere. I don't like the game itself as much as most people do. I have a lot of holdups. I think it's quite flawed in places, but my god, that fucking atmosphere. N64 liminal, desolate beauty at its fucking best, I think. The weird trees, the weird star-shaped trees, the big hillside, all the bouncy snowmen, the big ice, the ice slide. The ice slide, that's actually pretty fucking fun. That's pretty good. That's a certified hood classic right there. People still say that, right? And who can forget Penguin? Penguin, my beloved, my child, my poor, sweet penguin mother. I love you. I love this absolute lad here. Godspeed you, sad penguin. Godspeed you. Der Weinstmann einst Wein an Sein. I don't know why Mario's in German. Maybe Mario is German, actually, you know? It's a very German name, isn't it? It's a very German-looking fella, isn't he? I'm convinced Mario is German. Lore update, Mario is a German plumber. What's the penguin gonna say? Hi, Kleiner, hast du mein Baby gestern? Jetzt ist das schon ein sabeste Baby der Gassen von Krasen Waller Woch. In mir, aber ich habe keine more. I'm so sorry. I'm so fucking sorry. Other languages are funny. Cause my language is the worst one, so I have no excuse. I suppose the one thing I sort of remember about Christmas is just like having Christmas music on. Just like my parents were around in the living room. It would be like evening time after school, you know, it's dark outside. Parents put the TV on. There's nothing on TV though because we paid for free view because we're poor. So we just ended up putting on like the music channels and they were full of Christmas music. You know, all your classic Christmas music. The stuff you've heard thousands of times, but when you're a kid, you know, you're kind of sick of it now maybe, but when you're a kid, you kind of love all those songs just because it makes it so obvious that it is Christmas time when you're hearing them, right? Yeah, you'd be doing that before you like have like a meal, right? I mean, Christmas TV usually is like when I was a kid, and I don't watch TV anymore, basically. But when I was a kid, Christmas TV was like the only time there was there was things on non-kids channels that I wanted to see. You'd sit around and watch like the Doctor Who special or some shit while eating dinner. You'd drag the table from the kitchen into the living room just to watch Doctor Who. And of course, all the decorations that sit in the attic the entirety of the year just to get brought down for like 3 weeks, 3 weeks in the end of the year. It's always nice to see. We have like this really, I love this really fucked up bootleg hand-stitched Santa advent calendar stocking thing we have. Oh my god. These guys, it's very cute because it's clearly like hand-stitched. Well, probably stitched by a machine, but still done by hand. So you have all these really, really janky looking Santas. Their faces are messed up. They look weird. They're mangled up. They're so goofy looking, but some of them are actually, they're still pretty cute. They're scrunkly. They're cute in an ugly kind of way, And also, weirdly, in among all the Christmas decorations we have, there's just like an old toy from I just left when I was a kid. It's Skeletor. So, in among all our Christmas decorations, there's just this Skeletor toy that sits there. And he's been sitting there for literally ever, and he just kind of gets put out with the Christmas decorations. So we have our Christmas Skeletor in our house. And decorating a tree is fun, I actually do. It's a very nice activity. Because we live somewhere where we actually have plentiful access to real fir trees. You get really spiky ones that are really bristly and nasty and sharp, and the bristles fall off really quickly. So you're finding like little pine needles around your house for like the next 8 months, but those fuckers hurt when you step on them. But we do have nice ones as well, the nice soft bristly leaves, and having like an actual tree that's just been freshly cut. That smell of the pine, oh, it's gorgeous. It's one of my favorite smells, I think. Decorating a tree, it's just nice. Baubles have a nice sound. You get all the lights to deal with. Tinsel, I quite like the texture of tinsel. I'm sure I remember decorating a Christmas tree when I was like 17, when I had like the house to myself and it needed doing. And I'm sure I put on like an REM album at the time. It's just like a really weird memory I have. And our house is actually lucky enough that we have an open fire, which a lot of the houses around where I live actually still have like a proper chimney open fireplace. So that you need that shit in winter. It's so fucking cold, especially this year. This year's been brutally cold. So having that on around this time of year is really, really nice, and god damn it, the heat that baby puts out is amazing. When you're sitting right in front of it, you're the comfiest man alive, I tell you. And everyone loves some Christmas crackers, right? You pull them open, the sound is fun, the smell of gunpowder is pleasing, then you get the shitty joke, be some shit like how does a snowman smell of carrots or some shit, like some absolutely just some real grandpa tier, some just abysmal pun, It's just only slightly Christmassy as well half the time. You get the useless hats. I quite like the Christmas cracker hats. They're quite fun. They don't fit on anyone's head. I don't think I've ever seen one fit comfortably on someone without tearing a little bit, but they're pretty funny. And you got the weird random toys. I always remember like your weird like the weird plastic fish. The red plastic fish, and you put it on your hand, and it folds up, and that's meant to determine your mood. Like some sort of really weird plastic fish charm mood ring type shit. It's really, really quite interesting. I mean, we get snow about every year, maybe every 2 years. It really just depends. Maybe it doesn't often last long. And I work outside, so I work outside in a farm, so fucking I don't want snow. Everything will get frozen. It makes my job twice as hard. As much as I love the look of snow. Again, ice forms really easily. I fucking like slipped off my bike not long ago. But yeah, I mean, I think the reason Christmas exists, I think the reason it's is a thing is I mean, December is like the depths of winter, right? It's probably the coldest, most depressing time of year. Certainly for me, it is. Certainly where I am. I think people just need something to like lighten their mood, you know. Even I know it's commercialized. There's the whole. You might not like the whole religious, the remnants of the religion that was everywhere. You know, that side of Christmas as well. You might not like that, and that's fair. The commercial side, I'd say, is a lot worse. Personally, that's the side I don't like. But you've kind of just got to ignore that and look past it and just like for people who suffer from depression and shit like that in wintertime as well, I think everyone just needs something to create like to make things feel warmer, to make things look nicer, you know. Nice food. Treat yourself, you know. I like that people almost come together to put up decorations, and it changes the atmosphere of the world. It's in a weird communal, slightly mutually agreed way. It's weird. I like the atmosphere. There's no other time of year where the atmosphere really changes besides the Christmas period. I mean, Halloween, the day itself, kind of feels different, right? In the UK, we have Guy Fawkes Night. I mean, that's usually pretty atmospheric, but that's just if you come across any fireworks or not. So Christmas is really the only time of year where the atmosphere really changes in the world, I think. And even if you don't like Christmas, you can't deny, I think it's very important that, you know, people have somewhere to... Where am I going with this? Yeah, even if you don't like Christmas, and that's fine, or even if you don't like snow, I think Christmas is just important because it's quite a special time of year, just because everything feels different, and it really does kind of makes the deep, long December winter nights kind of feel a lot easier, I'm sure, for a lot of people. Because walking past houses and seeing people's lights up, you know, getting gifts from people and just like getting together, even though you don't need a reason to get together. I mean, you can do that any time of the year. You know, it's nice to have that. The world kind of caters to it more this time of year, which I think is a very good thing. So I'm a big enjoyer of Christmas, honestly. Not for any reason other than just the vibe of Christmas, I think, is something I kind of need. I'd be too depressed in wintertime if people didn't put out loads of lights in the street and shit, and nice looking things like that, you know. And I guess that's pretty much just the same reason I like snow levels and snowy environments and cold places. I guess when you're actually making them look pretty, when you're actually like capturing that side that's beautiful to cold environments, I think you need to. Otherwise, you're just cold and depressed. you gotta look at the nice looking white pile. There you go.